Hello, soul family. Welcome back to a spiritual growth journeys. I can't even think today. Welcome back to spiritual growth journeys. I'm trying to sit in a weird angle here so I can use my dowsing rods. We're going to answer a lot of questions. I've got two full pages of questions, lots and lots of questions that we're going to answer for you all today. Some of you wrote into me. I put a post up on Facebook and asked for your questions for Yeshua to answer. And some of you asked the questions, so we'll be answering some of your questions, and then the rest are questions that I've gotten just over time from a lot of you on social media, just remembering questions that I've gotten and also my own questions. So this is going to be a really fun video. I'm really excited because we're going to be working specifically with Yeshua today and getting his answers to all these questions. But for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Kimberly Palm, and I'm the spiritual teacher and author of 4 books, which you can find on my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com. I have lots of classes up on that website as well. I've got like 12 or more classes. I have a big class coming up this Saturday, the 9th. Today's the 6th, and on Saturday, the 9th, 1 p.m. Pacific Coast time, I'll be teaching a class called Spiritual Protection 101, Defense Against the Dark Arts and Entities. And every one of you is under attack. We're all under attack. Every light warrior is under attack. My dowsing rods went to a yes. We're all under attack by not just entities, but the government, the cabal, the elites, the Draco-reptilians, the bad ETs, parasitic entities, the what they call the military and industrial complex, which nukes us all with voice to brain technology, telling us to kill ourselves every day and all kinds of stuff. So and yes, that's a thing. They've been broadcasting that from cell towers for a long time into everybody's brains of this: you are ugly, you hate yourself, you're stupid, nobody likes you, go kill yourself. They've been broadcasting that for a long time. It's part of their eugenics against humanity, wipe us all out because we're all a bunch of cockroaches, according to the elites. We're useless feeders. So that's what they do. That's what they say, is that we are useless feeders. So anyways, today we're going to be answering a lot of questions, and I really hope you all will consider signing up for that course on Saturday, because you really need the spiritual protection I'm teaching. It's also kind of a paranormal 101 class as well. You're going to learn a lot about how to tell if your house is haunted or a building is haunted, how to tell if it's a intelligent haunt versus a residual recording kind of a haunt, how to close down portals, how to protect yourself and your family, how to protect yourself while you're sleeping at night and in your dreams time, and on and on and on. I mean, I literally put, I don't know how many hundreds of hours into creating this class. I came out with 20 pages I'm talking like no space in between, just 20 straight pages of class material that I'm going to be teaching on Saturday. And if you can't make it during the time of the live class, you're not going to miss out on anything other than you won't be able to ask a question with the Q&A at the end of the class. But you will be able to email me the question later, and you can watch the recording, because the recording will be up on the Learn It Live platform. That is a teaching platform. It will be up on there indefinitely, as long as Learn It Live's in business. So just to tell you guys all this, because I've had a lot of you messaging me saying, I'm not able to put my payment info in. It won't accept my credit card. I can't get, the link isn't coming through. I cannot help you with that. If you register for any of my classes, I'm not ever able to help you. The reason why is because Learn It Live is a teaching platform. I don't own it. They have thousands of teachers on there from all over the world. They pay me a percentage of the class. So like, let's say you pay, this class is $77, which is not a lot of money. It's, I'm not out to get rich off you all. I'm out to pay my bills to stay alive and teach you all and help you all on your journey at the same time. But the biggest part is helping you all in a way where I can still survive as well on this planet. So anyways, when you go and you sign up for that class, you put in your credit card and all that kind of thing, they pay me a percentage of the $77. So I'm not getting $77. I'm getting that minus credit card processing fees and their fee for hosting the whole class. They have a whole platform where they keep my class up there forever. So I'm paying for the, goodness of being able to utilize their platform. Their platform, Learn It Live, charges way less fees than most of these other websites. I actually looked into tons and tons of teaching platforms, and this one was the best one I could find because it is all spiritual stuff on there. It's all like yoga classes and meditation classes and health classes. And it's kind of like body, mind, spirit, like website. And then they pay their teachers the greatest amount of money of any of the teaching platforms. So for any of you teachers out there, look at Learn It Live for presenting your classes because they will take less of your money than the other companies do. So I just wanted to tell you all about that. You can find the class in the description below. You can also find it on my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com. Everything's always on spiritualgrowthjourneys.com. All my classes, my webinars, my women's retreats when I have them, all of my books, all four of my books. So today we're going to ask Yeshua all about him. And I'm going to ask some other questions that aren't about him in the beginning that are actually kind of political questions before we get going. But we're going to be asking, the rest of the questions are going to be about him, maybe a few heavenly questions that we'll be asking. And I've already grounded, centered, and protected myself. And that is something I teach. I had somebody put a comment in the last video saying, how do you ground yourself? Well, I have there's 20, 30 different ways you can ground yourself. I actually teach that in a lot of my classes. One of my classes that I teach you that in is my meditation class. But if you came to our webinar that we just did, I also taught you in that. But grounding yourself, you can do it by walking barefoot on the grass or the ground or a beach for 15 or more minutes. You can put your butt on the ground or on a rock. You can walk on rocks or sit on rocks. You can hold grounding rocks in your hand like hematite, black onyx, trying to think what else, black tourmaline, red garnets, any of the really bright red stones, not orange, but dark red kind of stones, red jasper. Those are all red and black stones are all grounding for the root chakra. So you can hold those and you can just see yourself rooting. You can do a visualization exercise where you verbally say, I send my tree roots down into Mother Gaia out of the bottom of my feet and out of my root chakra, and just see your roots going down into the earth. And then you can extend your tree branches up to Mother, Father, Abun, up to the heavens. That is actually what I personally did the last two times because I wasn't able to today in the last video because I wasn't able to get outside and go ground myself. So I did the verbal and the visualization and sent those roots into the earth. And then I also have my grounding crystals. I've got black tourmaline. I've got shungite here. These are both super grounding. So I'm surrounded by my grounding crystals here. So that is what I did this time and last time that I did this dowsing video. And I already called in all my protection, which you will, if you take the class on Saturday, you will learn all the various protection techniques that I have. There's a lot of techniques covered in that class. It's going to be a 3-hour long class for $77, which is a really good value for a 3-hour class. Usually you get like a 45-minute class if you're lucky for $77 from most people, not from me, because I give a lot of goodies. I give a lot of free time and free everything away to people. So, but yeah, it's a really good value, and it'll be a 3-hour long class where you will learn all kinds of protection techniques and clearing techniques and portal closing. And you're going to learn a lot about metaphysics and the paranormal in this class, like a lot of stuff. And that class was I was told to do it by Yeshua. And then the information in that class just comes from my 50 plus, 40 years or more. I'm going to be 60 this year. I've been studying metaphysics and all this stuff since I was about 12 years old. So almost 50 years of studying of all this type of thing. So that's where the information in the class comes from. Some of it I channeled from higher self, and then all of the prayers that we use, all of the actual rituals that we do, well, they're not really rituals, they're invocations and prayers is what they are. But all of the invocations and prayers that I do in the class, those all were given to me by Yeshua and by Archangel Michael, the protector of this realm. He gave me a lot of those prayers. And then also Yeshua gave me some of those prayers as well. So right now we're going to start asking the questions, and I'm going to have to, because I have them written really tiny on this piece of paper. I've got 2 pages, you can see, of questions. It's insane. So I might have to this might be kind of time consuming, because I'm going to have to ask the question, pick up the dowsing rods, put them down, ask another question again, um, because I don't know how else to do it. I can't really see it. The only way I can see this paper really well with my bad vision is holding it up with a hand pretty close to my face. If I had a helper here, they would be able to hold it up for me, so I wouldn't have to do this, or I would have some sort of a teleprompter in the background if I had the money to do. I'm guessing those are thousands and thousands of dollars. They use them at TV stations, so they've got to cost a lot of money. But it would have to be that, or it would have to be somebody holding it for me, or assisting me, or telling me, or reading the question to me. If I had somebody to read these questions to me, it would really help. But I don't have any of that available right now. So I'm doing the best I can for you all. I'm going to read them one by one, use the little Roddy poos, and we'll go from there. So we're going to get started. So I'm going to ask make sure that Yeshua is still with me. I called him in a bit ago before I turned on this video and did my protection and everything. So, all right, neutral or neutral. So this is neutral. They're both, like that. It's hard to tell on video, but I've got them just kind of parallel here. It's hard to tell. It looks like they're not parallel on the video, and it's just the way I'm facing the camera. Just so you all know, because I'm facing the camera diagonally, so they may look diagonal. Just give me a yes. But so neutral, we're doing neutral. So here's neutral. So we're going to ask, is Yeshua Sananda Christ? Are you in the room with me now? Yes. Which I know he is anyways, because he's standing next to me and he has his hand literally right on my shoulder. So, making me kind of itchy. Anyways, so he's right here. So Yeshua Sananda, my favorite universal brother, soul brother. We are going to ask you all these questions today, and I'm going to ask you to give us your 100% honest yes or no to every one of these questions. While I push my ego, bias, and judgment completely aside, I do not consent to any negative entities or energies interfering with these questions and answers. I do not consent, do not consent, do not consent. We only allow the highest frequency of love, light, and truth coming through this dowsing session today. Okay, so we're going to do a test question, a few test questions, and you should always all do this with your pendulums, dowsing rods, or any divination equipment you use. You ask some test questions that you know the answer to, and it should answer you yes or no appropriately. So I'm going to do a few test questions just to make sure, because I know the answer to these. Is my name George? Is my name George? And it gave me a no. So that's no, just so you all know. A cross is no, like nah, no. Is my name Charles? Wait, let's go back to neutral. So we're gonna go to neutral. Okay. Is my name Charles? No. Okay. Is my name Kimberly? Yes. Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. I just want to make sure. Okay. So here we go with some political questions. I'm going to actually see if I can bend over and read these so I don't have to put these down. I'm going to try to do this in a way so I don't have to put them down each time, but we're going to keep them in neutral. So first question is, so first of all, we're going to specify to Yeshua, when we use the word Mr. T, we're talking about the guy who sits in the office of President of the United States of America right now. So that is who we're talking about. And we are using code name of Mr. T so that we don't get shut down on the YouTube channel. So first question is, are there multiple versions of Mr. T? Are there multiple versions of Mr. T? And we get a yes. Okay, thank you. Neutral. Let's go back to neutral. Okay. Is the real Mr. T the real one, the actual organic one that was born as Mr. T, DJT? Is he hiding under a mountain somewhere in the United States? Okay, that was a big yes. Is that in order to protect him from getting taken out by the cabal? Yes. Okay. Um, does the cabal have evil clones of Mr. T? Yes. Is there two or more evil clones of Mr. T that work for the cabal? Yes. Does the White Hats also have, whoops, let's get it back to neutral. Neutral, please. Neutral, neutral, neutral. Okay. Does the White Hats also have one or more clones of Mr. T that they use? Okay. Cool. All right. Um, is the guy who is known as ELON, who makes electric cars and is heading up the DOGE, is he a good guy? Is he a good guy? The guy that is working, um, yeah. Is that guy a good guy? Okay, so this is a neutral. So what that means is maybe. So that means he's kind of playing, is he playing both sides? Is he playing dark side and light side? We got a yes on that. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so is the ELON guy, is he the original ELON guy? Is he the original ELON guy? No. Okay. So was the original ELON guy taken out? Was he taken out? Yes. Okay. Neutral. That was a yes. And was the original ELON guy replaced by a clone? Was he replaced by a clone? No. Was he, okay, go back to neutral. Was he replaced by an actor? Yes. So it's an actor. Is that actor wearing a mask? Is he wearing a mask? Yes. So there's an actor wearing a mask playing the part of the guy. And just keep in mind, everything I'm saying on this channel today is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. All right, just like my sister medium Mikala says on her channel when she's working with Yeshua and he's channeling through her, right? He said yes. Okay. Um, all right. Does the replacement actor for the ELON guy work for what's called the White Hats? Does he work for the White Hats? And that is a yes. Okay. Does that guy also play both sides of the fence, like the good side and the bad side? Yes. Is he purposely playing the bad side, like the transhumanism stuff and everything, to expose the darkness. And is he doing this for the white hats to show everybody what the bad guys really wanted to do to us? Yes. So does the guy who's playing the ELON guy, does that actor really want to turn everyone into the Borg like the old one did? No. Did the original, okay, let's go back to neutral. Did the original ELON guy want to turn everyone into transhuman machines? Yes. Okay, so the original ELON wanted to turn you all into the Borg from Star Trek, which were, for those of you who never saw Star Trek: The Next Generation, it's basically making you part machine, part human, and taking your soul out. You know, your soul gets locked away in a black box on Saturn somewhere. And that's what they want to do. Okay, so now we're going to get to all your questions, you guys, because you guys gave me a lot of questions to ask. So there was a user number VP3JU, 6'2", whoever that is, whoever they are, they're 6'2", um, asked me a question about what method I used for grounding. So I answered that question already, which is, there's a lot of ways. You can go touch a tree, you can walk on the beach, you can use grounding crystals, you can use your mind, and there's 30 other ways. There's grounding mats you can use that you can plug into the wall. I use those sometimes. There's just so many ways to ground yourself. You just need to Google grounding, but it depends on how much of a hurry I am in. And sometimes I mix it up just to keep me interested. So I get bored easily. So like I'll try different things just to not get bored. All right. Next question's from my friend Lori Giggy. I think her last name's Gigi or Giggy. And she asked, can you please ask Yeshua if many of us awakened or light warriors had attended or followed him um, before this lifetime. So like she said she feels like she attended his teachings in person at some point, which is why she really resonates with him and his lessons. So we're a lot of the light warriors that are here now, that are awake. Were they, Yeshua, were they your what do we want to say, your followers when you were alive? Yes. Yes. So a lot of you guys who really resonate with all this stuff and you're awake and you're a light warrior, chances are, I've said this before, well, it's in my book, Walking with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And by the way, I'm just going over some really basic stuff with him today. But if you want to know his whole history before he was born, all his incarnations, and then his chronological, like I actually have a whole lifetime chronology going from when he was born and conceived till he died, and then after, what happened to him when he died. And I mean, I have the whole thing in the book, Walking with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, so that's all in there. So if you want to know what, all the true answers of what, happened to him, you can go to my website, Spiritual Growth Journeys, and get that. It's a PDF. I cannot sell it as a print. A lot of you asked me if I can sell it as a print copy. I can't do that because it costs thousands of dollars. You have to buy like a minimum of 100 copies or something. And it's thousands of dollars for me to just go print up a bunch of them. And if I put it on Amazon, which is print on demand, or any print on demand service, then it makes it public. It's available to the public. That book can never be available to the public until the purification event happens, because if I were to put that out there now, I'd have men in black showing up at my door, or Vatican assassins. I mean, because I really take down the Vatican in there. I disclose so much crap that they don't want you all to know. I disclose all kinds of stuff about sections of the Bible, questions you all have had over the years about the Bible, all about his true life, Mary Magdalene's life, Mother Mary's life, who these people really are, what they really did, where they came from. It's all in this book. It might be missing a few things. It's not 100% complete, but it's got majority of the info you all want to know about. So that's on my website. It gets delivered to you once you buy it through It's through Stripe and Send Owl. It's called Send Owl. Once you go in and you pay for it, Send Owl will pop up with a box that says download your PDF now. And then if you don't do it, I think they also send you a confirmation email that will have the link to download it. Make sure you check your spam folder. I get tons of you, to the point of craziness, messaging me saying, oh, I wasn't able to download it or this or that. And it's like, come on, people. When you pay, you get a box that pops up. You need to click on it and download it. And if not, you need to check your spam, check your email, because you will get a link to download it. I don't send that to you. It's all through that. I don't have the time to send out hundreds of copies of things every day to people. I just don't. So I use Send Owl. Any of you can look into that for selling products. It's a really, you can sell all kinds of products on Send Owl, but books, CDs, all that kind of stuff, music, music things, whatever. So, all right. So next question. This was kind of a funny one. So I have a friend, Thomas Wildfire, and Thomas Wildfire, that's his pseudonym because he's been kicked off of social media so many times. They've closed it for truthing and exposing the truth. And he's a huge truther. And so he's been thrown off social media. So he keeps changing his name, but he is a professional dancer and he's an awesome professional. I've seen videos of him. He's amazing. And so he asked the question, Yeshua, do you like to couples dance? Yes. So Yeshua, do you and Miriam couples, do you dance with each other? Yes. So he likes to dance and he dances with his wife, his significant other, which is awesome. So there's your answer, Thomas. You dancing fool, you. Janet Bailey, we have been told that we all choose to be here to witness the demise of Satan, and we have been, is that true? Is it true? Is it true that we chose to be here now to witness the demise of Satan? Is that true? And you got a yes, Janet, on that. That's just one. He's saying that's just one of hundreds of reasons that we all came here now. But absolutely, we are getting to what we got to witness the demise of Satan on the planet and the satanic systems. We're getting to see the end of the satanic, and he's saying yes, satanic systems. Okay. And so she wants to know, Yeshua, are you God's only begotten son, like they said in the Bible? Are you God's only begotten son? And he said, no, dear ones, you are all God's children. You are all God's sons and daughters. Yep. So all of you are all God's sons and daughters. He's not the only son of God. That's a lie that the duality religions have taught you to separate you from God and make you have an intercessory person between you and God. Nobody comes between you and God except Holy Spirit. It's just you and Holy Spirit connected to source at all times. Yep. So, okay. Her next question was, Yeshua, did you choose to come into the third density to die for our sins? No. Now that's in my book and his book. It's a book with both of us. He did not come here to die for our sins. He came here as the first ascension teacher. And that is a yes. He came here to teach you how to ascend to the higher level of consciousness and connect to source directly. So Yeshua, would you say that your most important teaching was that the kingdom of heaven is within us? And also your other important teaching would be basically that we're God's children, we're loved, and that we need to connect with God daily, right? Yep. So that's pretty much it. So these are all duality religion bullshit stories that he came here to die for our sins. I've talked about sinning in multiple videos on this channel. You can go and look for it. There's a whole video on sinning, which means missing the mark. You're not a sinner. That's also, I put a post up on social media saying that if you want to get rid of a lot of the ghosts on this planet, stop preaching to people that they're sinners, because a lot of these people, when they die, they're not crossing over at all. They're staying stuck here purposely choosing to stay here because they're terrified that when they cross over, they're going to hell. They don't want to go there. So they'd rather stay in purgatory without a body. Purgatory is basically being in the third density planet Earth without a physical body. You're just there like in your spirit form. And Yeshua was saying yes. So that's basically, if you were to stop telling everyone that they're sinners and they're going to hell, then a lot of these beings, when they die, these people would cross over immediately and they'd be all excited to go to heaven, because they wouldn't think, oh, you're going to hell because you swore at your mom, or you're going to hell because you ate chocolate, or you drank alcohol, or you got drunk one time, or you're going to hell because you got pregnant out of wedlock, or you're going to hell because you cheated on your spouse. Even people who cheat on their spouse aren't going to hell. Now, do they get accountability? Are they held accountable? Yes. Do they get kind of like karma, basically? They have to pay it back. They have to, yep, they have to be rehabilitated, basically. So when they do make bad choices and do bad things, they're going to get it back. It's going to boomerang back at them. Yeshua was saying yes. But this whole thing of sinning is reserved for the real sinners. Who are the real sinners? Sin is real, by the way. Sin is real, right, Yeshua? Yeah. It's real, but it is reserved for the evil people. So sinning would be raping someone, murdering someone, molesting, or harming a child in any way is sinning. Anytime anyone harms a child, anytime anyone purposely harms pets, that is big time sinning. Big time sinning would be cheating on your spouse is actually sinning. That is sinning. Um, Doing major drugs is also sinning, but it doesn't get you sent to hell. What gets you sent to hell? Getting sent to hell is stuff like killing people repeatedly, raping children, murdering, being a pedophile. That will get you sent to hell. Eating humans, being a cannibal, that will get you sent to hell. Um, you know, Beating, your wife repeatedly, that will get you sent to hell. Beating women in general will get you sent to hell. Getting yes, 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 like crazy here. Those are the things that get you sent to hell. But the other people, like my mom taught me, oh, God's watching you and you're going to go to hell if you swear at your mom. Is that true, Yeshua? Swearing at my mom's going to send me to hell? No. So things like, you punched a kid at school, is that, you're a little child and you punched another kid at school, will that send you to hell? No. So that's not the thing that will send you to hell. It might send you to karma. You might get some karma back for doing that behavior, but you're not going to hell. Okay, next question. We're going to go to neutral, please. Neutral, neutral. Okay. Did you have other missions to accomplish while in the third density in retrospect to scripture? Yes, he had a lot of other missions. He had many other missions. Yes. So he had a lot of missions. So I talk about that in Walking with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. That's in that book. Um, so if you want to know about what are all his missions and what he was doing here, um, then yeah, you'll find that out. So another thing is, here's another question. If Satan's reign did not end until December 21st, 2020, like David XRP Lyon, who I have no clue who he is, says, um, was Yeshua confronted by Satan while he was here? Yes. The other thing to know is Satan wasn't ended December 21st, 2020. That's actually a lie. Yeshua says yes. That was a lie. He's agreeing. Satan's reign ended in 2019. And he's saying yes. So Satan's reign ended in 2019. He's been taking care of. Sataniel is his real name, and he comes from Saturn. And he's no longer on this earth, right? Yeah. But unfortunately, so he's no longer here, but his minions are all here. The minions are all here, correct? Yes. There's billions of demons that are here all over this planet. Yes. And billions of rotten, stinky, sinning humans that do terrible things to humanity that work for him. Yep. Okay. Next question. Will Yeshua, will you expose the manipulation of all of the religious teachings and beliefs? Are you going to expose that? Yes. Saying yes. Um, will Yeshua's presence, will your presence, Yeshua, be felt by everyone on Earth during the global reset? Yes. So the planet's going to get a reset. He calls it the great purification, right, brother? Yep, the great purification. It's going to go in 3 waves. Got a yes again. The first wave is going to put everyone into a sleeping stasis. Got a yes. And while that happens, the earth will be cleaned out and cleaned up. The earth herself will be restored to her form of glory and completely healed. Everyone staying on this earth, which is all the good people, not like the book of Rapture that says all the Christians are being raptured off the planet. That's a lie. Who's being raptured off the planet are all the reptilians, all the demons, all the narcissistic people, all the evil people. Yep. Um, all the bad guys are leaving the earth. Who's going to be left? The meek inherit the earth. And when you ask Yeshua, who are the meek? He says, Kimberly, you are the meek. That's what he said to me. He said, you are meek. So meek are all the good people. So all the nice people, all the loving people, all the service to humanity people, we're all sticking around, and our bodies are going to be physically healed while we are in stasis. Our bodies will be healed, right, Yeshua? Yeah. And you will have, some of us will have superpowers because some of us, is it still 200,000 people will be going to 5D? Yes. So with the first wave, 200,000 light warriors will be going to fifth density. All of those 200,000 will get all their supernatural powers restored and will become glowing, sparkly, crystalline beings. We will get our crystalline 5D body with full strands. Is it 144 strands we will have activated? Yes. So we're going to have 144 strands of DNA activated, which is the 144 represents a lot of different things. There was 144,000 angels that came here to save the planet. There's 144 strands of DNA that are going to be eventually activated in everyone who goes to 5D. He's saying yes, yes, yes. He says I'm hitting all the right, hitting all the buttons. So let's see. Next thing. Yeshua, somebody said, how do you feel about the crucifix where they have you on there dead and suffering and bleeding with the crown of thorns and all that? Are you okay with that whole thing? Are you okay with that? No. So let me explain further to you all. This is in the book as well. You can read more detailed about it in the book. The original cross I've shown you all before is this 4-sided cross like I'm wearing on my neck now. It represents spreading the teachings of Yeshua, or what was called the Way. The first Christian church was called the Way, like the way, the truth, and the life. He said yes. And the cross represented spreading those teachings to the east, north, west, and south, kind of like the compass rose, right? So it's kind of like a compass rose cross almost. In fact, the compass rose is really similar to the original cross. And he's saying, of course it is. So let's see. So he is not okay with that. And so what happened is the Vatican, hundreds of years later, they didn't create the crucifix until way after Yeshua died. Like it was probably like in the medieval times, I mean, it was hundreds of years later when they created that crucifix. And the purpose of it was to traumatize all of you who stare at it. So every time you look at it, you're looking at a dead body on there all bloody and being tied up and dead with these awful looking eyes that look, ghastly, and the crown of thorns with blood dripping. You're looking at all of that. And what is it doing? Especially when you're a child, it really traumatizes the heck out of the children. And he's saying, yes, it does. And it traumatizes you, and that's why they put him on there. They put him on there to re-traumatize you over and over. Every time you're looking at that, you are being tortured and traumatized. The cross should only be this. This should be the only cross. What say you, Yeshua? Should we only have the equal four-sided cross that I'm wearing? Yes. The other cross that you could wear, which I'll show you, it's in my pocket here, and this was designed for me by my friend Carlos in Portugal. I've talked about him before. I think I have a link on my website to his stuff. But this is the Ankh, and this one's a Tesla Ankh. It's got Tesla technology on it. This is the Ankh, and it almost looks like a person, but it's got, and you can't see it, it's hard to see, but it's actually got Egyptian symbols all over it. And it also has this thing on it that's actually creates power. I can't explain it, but it's a tool that powers you up. The Ankh protects your body, mind, and spirit against demons, negative energy, negative entities, everything. And it also powers up all your chakras. It balances your chakras. And he's saying, yep. Because I asked Yeshua, I'm like, what is the Ankh doing for me? And he said, well, it's protecting you, but he said it's also balancing all of your energy in your body. Saying, yes, 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 yes. Okay. So if you want to wear the Ankh, that's good. If you want to wear a four-sided cross like they have in Greece, the Greeks. So the Greek cross is the original cross. The Coptic Christian cross that you find in Ethiopia and parts of Africa, all over Africa, that's the original cross. The Egyptians also, the Egyptian Coptic Church, because the first three churches were in Greece, Egypt, and Ethiopia. Those were the three very first Christian churches. And then the first European Christian church was set up in south of France and in Glastonbury, UK. And he's saying yes. And there's more about that in the book, Walking with Yeshua and Miriam. There's a whole thing on the history of the church in there, history of the Catholic Vatican, all the terrible atrocities they've done, all the lies they've told you. I mean, it's a huge expose, which is why I can't publish it out into the public, because I do like my life and I do want to stay alive on this earth. I don't want to get taken out by Vatican assassins. So that is not going into the public. It's also why I ask you all, when you're sharing any of my books with people, please share with only people who are awake. Don't share my books with the unawake. And the reason why is a lot of those unawake people are very narcissistic, and some of them are not very nice, because anyone who's not awake at this point has got some kind of crazy ass narcissism shit going on and brainwashing. And those are the exact kind of people who would take my information and give it to the bad guys and get me in trouble. And he's saying yes. So you all can help protect me by keeping my information only within the spiritual community, please, which is why I'm not rich and famous, because I don't sell hundreds and thousands of copies of my stuff. It only goes out to my immediate audience and people who follow me, which is a really small crowd of people. I'm not here to get rich and famous. I'm here for the people who are ready for this information that I came here to share for Yeshua and Miriam. And so, yeah, so you guys can help keep me safe and keep me going with my work on this planet by not sharing that with people who are not worthy, as Yeshua would say. But you know, he's saying casting your pearls before swine. So you do not want to cast your pearls before swine. He's saying, give me a yes. So every time you give my books to somebody who's completely asleep right now, they're not awake at all, you are casting the pearls before the swine. He's saying yes again. So, so there's that. So please only share my classes, my books, all my information with people who are awake. They have to be awake, because I'm here for those people. I'm not here for the sleepers. The people who are still asleep at this point, they are so deep under mind control, and or they are NPCs, narcissists, or reptiles. And we don't want those people to get our information. We don't want them to have our information. Saying yes. So, okay. Next question. So you don't want to have the crosses with Yeshua hanging on them all over your house. So I have a cross by every door for protection. I do not have any of them with him on the cross. I got rid of them. I was Catholic up until 9 years ago when I found out what they were doing to children and what they've been doing. When I found out the true history of the church and all the bad things they were doing, I left the church, and that was about 9 years ago. They say, "Yep, you did that." I did, and he said, "Oh, he said he was proud of me for." He's proud of me that I did that. He's very proud. But I had to do it on my own. He can't mess with our free will. So he allowed me to figure it out on my own. Thank you, brother, for allowing me to do that. So said yes again. So I figured it out. I left the church. And when I did that, I took down all the crucifixes that have him hanging on it, and all the ones that I used to wear on my neck. I had a whole collection of them that I would wear on my neck. They're gone. I put them away in a box somewhere. I still have them because they're like gold and silver, and I'm not getting rid of anything that's gold and silver with what's going on in the world, because the price of gold and silver keeps going up. But I will tell you that they're stuffed away in a box because I don't want to see those damn things. I don't want to be traumatized. I was physically there and had his blood dripping on me when I was wiping his feet I was trying to clean him off when he was on the cross. I was trying to help him. I think I tried to get him water, whatever. The Roman soldiers were not too happy about me. But the thing is that I was there, and it took me a lot of years of counseling and healing to get over it, because I came into this. This is my first incarnation since then in a body. So I came in with the trauma of that life. And he's saying, yes, you did. I came in with the trauma of that life. And so I had to do a lot of healing. Part of why I came into the body was to do the healing for that. He's saying, it's like, good job, Kimberly. So, but yeah, part of the reason I came was to heal that aspect of me that experienced him getting put up on that cross and being traumatized like that. So every time I would look at the crucifixes, I would just cry. Like if I gazed at it, if I looked at it at all, I had to not look at it. Like I had them in my house, but I wouldn't look at them. I'd ignore them. I'd kind of like walk past them really fast and ignore them, because it's like, yeah, I was a Catholic, but it was traumatizing to me. So, all right. Okay, let's see. Next question. Okay, did Yeshua, there's somebody named Kim, or not named Kim, named Amran Thread 413, who said, can you ask Yeshua if he really frequently talks to some pastor named Brandon Briggs? No. He said, I don't know him. He has a YouTube channel, and did you ask him to be your watcher or observer and inform and warn people of the coming days, especially the rapture? And he just said to me, you and I both know that the whole rapture story was made up. Yes, it was all made up. That's a made up story. Like I said, the people getting raptured off this planet are going to be all the hypocritical Christians, all these Christians who think that they're getting raptured. They're going to be raptured all right, but it's going to be all the hypocrite ones that are not nice people who claim to be Christians. And unfortunately, that's 60% of Christians. 60% of them are narcissists or service to self, or they are just fear-based hypocrites. And they won't be here in the end. In the end, there's only going to be, after the big event happens, there'll only be 40% of the Christian population left on this planet. Yep, he's saying yes. And only 10% of the Islamic people will be left. He's saying yes. I think it was like 15% or 20 of Jewish people will be left, unfortunately, because the other 85% of them are not so nice. They're also either fear-based, or they worship money, or they're Khazarians, or blah, 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 whatever. The 15% of Jews that are staying here are the actual spiritual religious Jews that worship God, the God Almighty creator that we worship. And they're good people. Those are the really good people. So it's only 15%, which is really sad. And what was really cool is Buddhists, I think it's like 80% of Buddhists are good and get to stay. It was like 70% or something of Hindu people. Yeah, like 70% of Hindu people are good and get to stay. And then the rest of the people that are staying are people who are like druids and Wiccans and spiritual, just people, shamans, all the Native American shamanic people, and all of the indigenous, all the indigenous people all over the world who are good people, they're all staying here. They're all staying here. I mean, you do get your natives every now and then who are not so good. I mean, like here in my state, we have a lot of crime on the reservations where Native Americans are like the males are beating and killing the women, beating and killing them. And he's saying yes, saying it's so sad. It's kind of hanging his head, like that basically it's very sad that that happens, but not, not all native peoples on this earth are good people. They're human, just like I am. I mean, there's not all humans in general are good. You've got good humans, bad humans, and they come in every walk of life. It doesn't matter. Just because they're Native American doesn't mean they're good. Just because they're Hindu doesn't mean they're good. Just because they're Muslim, devout, doesn't mean they're good. I mean, it's good and bad in everything. So, all right, next question. So Brandon Briggs, pastor, does not talk to Yeshua. He's full of crap, right? Yeshua says yes. He's making it up as he goes. He's full of baloney. He's just trying to get money. Yes, it's a money thing. Okay. Also, there is a South African pastor named Joshua who claims that Yeshua appeared to him, and one of his messages is being given the exact date for the rapture, which is, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this to you guys because I was told I'm not allowed to give that information because I actually know when it's going to happen and I'm not allowed to tell you. I'm saying, good girl, keep it between us. So, so yes, there. So I'm just going to ask this question because I don't want to get us in trouble, Yeshua. So this South African pastor named Joshua, did you appear to him and talk with him? Yes, he did. So he did. So, ooh, I just got cold chills and bumps, goosebumps. Oh my gosh. So yeah, whoever this, God, I'm still getting them. Woo! This, I'm gonna have to follow this guy now. I'm gonna have to find him. So there's some South African pastor named Joshua who says Yeshua appears to him and gave him this message of when the rapture is happening. Um, um, And so, okay. So the other question she had is she was told there won't be any World Cup in 2026 because the world will not be in business as usual. And that is true. So there will not be, so let's ask this question. Is there going to be a Super Bowl this year? Will there be a Super Bowl this year? No, there will not be a Super Bowl this year. Will there ever be, okay, let's get it to neutral. Neutral. Will there ever be a Super Bowl ever again? Will there ever be one ever again? I'm getting no. He says no. Will there ever be a World Cup ever again? No. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. So now we're going to ask some serious hardcore questions. You guys ready for these? So Yeshua, which I already know the answer to all of these, but I'm going to let him answer you guys so you know, because you guys have all asked me these questions. Um, Yeshua, did you die on the cross? Did you die on that cross? Yes, he did die. So, Yeshua, there are people saying that they actually removed your body and that you were still alive. Is that true? No, your physical body. Okay. Okay. I've also heard that they used techniques to resurrect you from the dead later on. Is that true? No. Okay. So there's that question. Yeshua, there's this person named Ashiana Dean who I don't like. I don't like her information because half of it is baloney to me. That's personal to me. If you guys want to follow her, go for it. I don't care. I personally do not, this is my personal opinion. I don't like her information that she gives out. Okay. But she said there was like all these multiple versions of him in universe 1 and 2 and 3. It names all these like numbers of universes or realities where he exists in all these different forms. Is any of that true? No. Oh, that's a huge no. That's like hell no. That was like a hell no. Yeshua, was there only just one of you in one timeline? Yes. And I've told all of you this before in videos. There's just was one of him in one timeline. He didn't exist across multiple timelines. People who are saying that, it's not true. He didn't. It was just him in the one timeline. And that is it. Um, all right. Yeshua, did you visit India, Egypt, and Tibet? Yes. Okay. Did you study with the high level gurus when you were there? Yes. Yay. Okay. Yeshua, did you ever visit America when you were alive? No. Yeshua, did you go to Glastonbury and study with the Druids? Yes. He also went into Avalon in the higher dimensions, which is in Glastonbury. Yes. He went out of his body. He astral into Avalon because you can't just like physically walk into Avalon. You have to go in the astral, your spirit body has to go because your physical body's 3D and until we're 5D. Now, when we're in 5D, when you're physically 5D, you'll be able, I'll be able to enter Avalon, right? Yes. So if you want to go visit Avalon when we're 5D, we can because it's in the higher density and higher dimensions. So you can't really see it if you're a 3D person in a fear-based 3D body. Okay. Let's go to neutral again. Yeshua, did you visit Scotland? Yes. Okay, there's two islands there that you supposedly visited. One of them was called, let's see, the island of Iona. Did you go to the island of Iona? Yes. And that's because there were druids there that you were, what? Yes. So he's hanging out with the druids in Iona. There's an island named after you. They call it the Island of Jesus. It's called Elian Isa because your nickname was Isa. Did you also go there? Yes. So he was island hopping in Scotland. Yes. That's so much fun. I wish I could have been there with him. I wasn't with him at that time. He's saying, no, you didn't know me then. I didn't know him then because he was quite a bit younger. Yes, when he went there, it was before I met him. Um, let's see. So that's located in the Hebrides north of Iona. So these are islands that are way north, like North Scotland, off the coast of Scotland, way up in the north. Okay. Yeshua, did you meet your wife and divine soul partner Miriam, who's behind me in the picture here? That's her. Did you meet her in India? Yes. Was she a member of one of the 12 tribes of Judea that went to India? Yes. So she was Jewish from one of the 12 tribes that happened to wind up in northeastern India. Was she also an Essene? Yes. Um, did you and her get married in a private ceremony in India? Yes. Did she then come down to Israel with you and Martha and Lazarus? Yes. Did you have another wedding ceremony with her in Qumran? Yes. When the story of you turning water into wine, was that your own wedding? Was that your wedding that you did that at? Yes. So the wedding where he turned the water into wine, that was actually his own wedding. Yes. Okay. Um, I think we asked this before. Did you die for our sins? No. He's like, you know that I didn't die for your sins. He was murdered, you all. He was murdered. You can read about it in my book. I mean, you'll get all the full gory details of what really went on and who betrayed him and what all happened. But yeah, it's all in the book. Okay. Let's see. Yeshua, are animals able to see you? Are animals able to see you? Did they see you? He said always. They always see you. Yeah. Okay, so the animals, all the animals, your pets, the pets see Yeshua. Yep, my cat's when he's here, my cat's with me, she sees him. She sees him, doesn't she? Do you like my cat? She's kind of grumpy sometimes because she's got arthritis and she's old, but yeah. Because she always sees him. Let's see. When we die and go to heaven, there also are all the animals there with us too? Yes. So neutral. Are all of our pets there too as well? Yes. Okay, neutral. Are extraterrestrials also in heaven with us? Yes. He's saying to point out to you all that heaven is not like a place like on Earth. It's in the same space that Earth is in, but it's just an entire dimension. Heaven is literally an entire dimension. Yep. And so everybody who's ever been created, I think, is all there in that dimension once they pass. It's like where you go, where everyone goes, everyone who's in a meat suit on any planet, anywhere in space and time, it's where they all go when they leave that meat suit. Yes. So you're going to have Arcturians mixed with Syrians, mixed with humans, mixed with animals, mixed with creatures. So are there animals and creatures from other planets that are also there with us? Yes. So you're going to have Earth animals in heaven, but you're also going to have animals from other worlds in heaven. Yes. And that's because when you're in a spirit form, you go into bodies everywhere. I mean, I've been Assyrian, I've been on Tiamat, I've been in Andromeda, I've been an Arcturian, um, I've been a Lyran, I've been a lot of different things. I've probably been in Blue Avian, I think. Was I Blue Avian as well in a past? Yeah, I've been a Blue Avian in a past life. I've been a lot of those things. So that is why everyone's all together in the same heaven because we're all those different things. Okay. A spirit is a spirit. Just think of it as everything that is from God of spirit that's made a Holy Spirit all goes back to heaven. Yes. Okay. Um, these are some kind of nasty questions I'm going to ask. Was your mother, Mother Mary, was she inseminated by God, like they say in the Bible, and never had sex at all when you were conceived? No, that's a big no. Like it almost hit me in the head. No. Okay. Because that's not true. That was a lie that was made up. And just so you all know, there's a book out there. I think it's Grandmother Anna or something. There's a whole bunch of books out there that claim that there's some ancient Egyptian technique to impregnate or inseminate yourself without a male sperm. And that's a lie. That's a lie. He's saying yes. So Yeshua, is it possible for women to get pregnant with a baby without a male sperm? No. You need to have a male sperm in order to get pregnant, unless you're having like a light baby. So like Yeshua had some children with Miriam when he was in his light body, right? Yes. So he was in his light body, but it still took sperm. He still had sperm. He still fertilized her. It took him fertilizing her with his spirit sperm, like with his divine essence. He like put his divine essence in her to impregnate her. So it takes a male and female, or a sperm and an egg, because it could be some sort of an animal or creature that's like unisex or something, it doesn't have male and female. But it takes that mix of the sperm and egg. It has to be fertilized. You can't, God is just the energy and frequency of unconditional love. It doesn't make babies. Humans make babies, and beings, humanoids make babies. So like, um, humanoids make babies, right? Yes. Um, so we always need to fertilize the egg. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So let's see. These are more nasty, serious questions. Where to go? Okay. So was Joseph, um, Saint Joseph, just regular Joseph, not your Uncle Joseph, was he your blood real father? No. Okay, so if God didn't impregnate your mother with sperm and Joseph wasn't your real father, was it the guy named Tiberius Julius Abdus Pantera? Yes. So you'll read about this in my book, but basically the rabbis used to insult him and call him the son of Pantera. He was called son of Pantera all the time because they knew his father was Tiberius Julius Abdus Pantera. That was his real father. That was his blood father. Mary was in love with him. Was he a Roman soldier? Yes. Was his actual blood, though, nationality, DNA, Greek? Yes. Um, so Yeshua, were you half Greek from your father and half Hebrew, Jewish from your mother, from King David? Yes. Was your father a direct descendant of the guy the Greeks call Zeus? Yes. So I've talked about this before. So the Greek god known as Zeus, who was really actually an Anunnaki. So Yeshua was part Anunnaki. Were you part Anunnaki? Yes. So Yeshua was like a hybrid, basically, a hybrid being, because his father was a Greek descendant of the god Zeus, who was really an Anunnaki extraterrestrial. And yes. His mother was descendant from King David. And so he truly was a king. They call him King of the Jews. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, he was basically royalty, being the son of the god Zeus, on his father's side. Um, so was your father killed, your real blood father, who was a Roman soldier from Greece, was he murdered when your mother was pregnant? Yes. So when Miriam was pregnant with Yeshua, he was killed. He was murdered. Yes. And then what the Essenes would do, because back in those days, it was not okay for a young woman to give birth to a child without a husband. So they gave her the Essene named Joseph. He was an Essene, and his previous incarnation was Saint Germain. He's also Saint Germain. Joseph is an aspect of Saint Germain, and he's saying yes. Um, Joseph married Mary. And so let's ask you, and I know the answer to pretty much all these things, but I'm going to ask him. I mean, sometimes I get a surprise answer, but so Joseph, was he married before he married your mother? Yes. Did he have children? Yes. So he had several children from his first marriage. His wife passed away. She died. He was a widower. And so the Essenes, he needed a wife and Mary needed a husband because she couldn't give birth to Yeshua all by herself. So they put the two of them together. It was an arranged marriage of your parents, right? Yep, that was an arranged marriage. But she did love him. She loved him. They knew each other before, actually. They knew each other before. I think they were also kind of soul partners. And let's see, they knew each other before. I think what else we want to talk about? Um, and then Miriam, his mother, she also had an uncle who was Yeshua's great uncle named Joseph of Arimathea. And he's the one who took Yeshua all over the world to do his training. He's the one who took him to Tibet and took him, starting when Yeshua was a little boy, his uncle took him to all these places all over the world to be trained. And that's because Joseph of Arimathea was one of the richest men on earth at that time. He owned all sorts of mineral and metal mines all over. He had them all over. The reason they went to Glastonbury is because he owned mines there, I think 10 mines. And then he traded that stuff all over the world. He traveled, and so he brought Yeshua with him. He keeps saying, yes, 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 yes. He's just agreeing with me. Okay, so Yeshua, did you have several incarnations on earth before becoming Yeshua ben Yosef? Yes. And we talk about all those in the book. We do his whole life chronology in the book. We literally start before he was born, going back to other incarnations, and then going through each year or each section of his life, where he lived at the time and what he was doing. They don't have any of this info in the Bible. This is all his missing years. They're all in my book because we wrote that together. Um, was one of your incarnations as the being known as Zoroaster? Yes. So he was like the head of the Zoroastrian religion. And that was in different Middle Eastern countries where they had that. I think like Iraq was one of the areas, and Oman and some of those areas like that. So is that the reason why the reason why the three magi who are Zoroasters, the reason that they came to find you when you were born and bring you gifts, is it because they knew who you were and when you were going to be born? Yes. So they prophesied the return of Zoroaster. They knew where he was going to be coming into, who he was going to be, that he was going to come back and save the world and all that. They knew all that. And they knew where to find him because they followed the stars, because they were also astrologers. The Magi were like the most amazing astrologers of that time period. He's saying yes. Ooh, I'm getting so many chills right now. Um, Yeshua was one of your lifetimes as the being known as Osiris. Yes. So he was Osiris, and is that during the time of Atlantis? That was during the time of Atlantis. He was actually Osiris, and he was the husband of Isis. And Isis is your current wife, Miriam, as well. So Miriam is an aspect of Isis. Yeshua is an aspect of Osiris. And Yeshua's real name is Sananda. Yes, his real name's Sananda. That's his real name. So is Miriam's real name Isis? Yes. So she's Isis. So Sananda, they named him Osiris, but his soul name is really Sananda. Um, okay. Is your mother Mary an aspect of Hathor, the goddess Hathor? Yes. So one of Mary's incarnations during Atlantean times was the goddess Hathor. That was her incarnation. She was here during the times of Atlantis as Hathor. Okay, here's a personal question I have. Am I currently on the Golden Age Ascension timeline? Yes. Am I on a transhuman timeline where humans merge with artificial intelligence? No. Cool, because I don't want to be on that timeline. Um, client asked this, Yeshua, will you allow humanity to become like the Borg from Star Trek and become soulless machines? No. So that's not going to happen. So don't have any fear about it. They're putting that into the collective, that they're going to turn you all into the Borg. It won't be allowed. Yes, they're trying to do that. Yes, they want to do that. Will they succeed? No, they will not succeed. Yeshua, did you want to end the Jewish religion when you were here? Yes. So he tried to put an end, I think I talk about this in the book. He tried to put an end to Judaism. He wanted every human on earth to just have a personal relationship with God and enter the kingdom of heaven from within. Yes. He didn't want any religion, and he definitely didn't want a religion created around him. That was not what he wanted. Yeshua, were you like basically one of the first ascension teachers coming here to teach ascension to higher consciousness? Yes. That was the reason he came here, the main reason he came. He didn't come here for your sins. He came here to help you ascend. Um, Yeshua, when you were on the cross, um, did you actually died? Yes. Was your body taken down to south of France and reburied? Yes. So everybody who was on the boat, there were 39 people on the boat. Yeah, there were 39 people on the boat. Took his body down to south of France and reburied it down there in a secret location, which we will never, ever, ever tell you, ever, ever, ever. And I know where my body is buried down in south of France too, and they haven't discovered it yet because it's being protected, right? Yeshua, you're protecting, yeah. So they're protecting my body and all my relics, so that they can't be messed with by the Catholic Church, because Catholic Church would use them to do satanic shit. My bones and all that are there for my last incarnation, that were buried, and they're in a cave somewhere in the south of France. That's all I will tell you. And he's saying yes. And he is also there as well. I'm not in the same cave that I'm in, right? You're not in that same cave. No. Yes, you are. Wait, were you buried in the same cave I was buried in the south of France? Whoa, oh shit, I didn't know that. Okay, so I guess my bones and relics are in the same cave where we buried him. Was that like a specific cave we used for burials of our people? Yes. Oh wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, people. I really didn't. Apparently we had a cave that's where we just put all of our people, huh? Including you? Yes. So he's in the same place. So is that also where Miriam was really buried as well? Was she buried in that same place? So all of us were really buried there. So the Catholic Church claims they have her skull and her bones. I actually went to St. Bome. That is not really her skull. That's a money maker. It's a big ploy by the Vatican to make a lot of money. That's not her skull. It's not her relics. They don't have any of her stuff. Her stuff is protected. Do you guys have like a sealed, like energetic barrier around this or something? Yeah, I'm being shown. So what I'm actually being shown it right now. There is like it's like hidden behind almost like a veil. Like if somebody were to walk by it, they wouldn't be able to see it. It's like completely hidden somewhere where no human can find it. Is that, yeah. I'm being shown it, and I'm being shown like ivy and like stuff. It's like all covered over, like it's completely buried over in a way that no human can find it. They can't find it. They will never ever find it. Saying yes. They will never find it, but all of us are in that cave. We're all in that cave. So that's where our bodies are, that's where our relics are, and they will remain there, I guess, forever, because of the fact that if the bad guys, the Vatican or whoever gets a hold of it, they will use it to do very evil satanic shit. And if the military industrial complex gets a hold of it, they will use it to use the DNA to create like the Antichrist or some stupid shit like that. And he's saying yes, they will totally do that. He's nodding too, because I can see him. He's like, yeah, pretty much. So, okay. Uh, when he was on the cross, did he walk or ascend into, okay, Yeshua, did you walk or ascend into your rainbow light body when you were on the cross? Yes. So what happened is he died actually pretty quick. He did not suffer too much when he was on that cross. He died like super fast. And then he literally walked out of his body into his rainbow light body. He's saying yes. And there's more about that in the book, by the way. The whole explanation of what happened. Yeshua, did you stay with Miriam in the south of France for a while in your light body to help out? Yes. And he said also to watch my children being born. Yeah. Yeah. That's so nice. Yeah, he wanted to be there for the babies because she was pregnant when he died. So he stayed with us. He accompanied us when we were in the boat too. That is how we all, wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys, how we were able, all the 39 people were able to make it to south of France from Israel with no water, no food, and no oars, which is what they did because they were expecting us to all die. It was kind of like a punishment, a slow death punishment. They wanted us to starve to death and dehydrate to death and die at sea. So they didn't have to worry about burying us. They figured we'd just die out there at sea and become shark bait. The reason that we made it all the way to south of France with no food, no water is because he was there providing everything we needed. Oh my God, that's so cool. Anyways, thank you, brother. Thank you, Yeshua. Oh my gosh. So that's why we made it alive to south of France. Okay. Um, let's see. Are there still descendants of your children alive on this earth? Yes. Are they safe and are they safe and protected? Are they safe and protected? He said yes, and they're very hidden. They're very hidden. So is it possible for the cabal to find them? No, no. Are any of your children or descendants up on spaceships? Yes. Cool. No, that stuff I didn't know any of that. So yeah. I'm asking a bunch of questions here that I don't really know the answer to, so it's kind of cool. Um, so okay, so these are my all my personal questions I'm asking that I don't know the answers to. So will Yeshua, will we get to find out who your descendants are that are still here on Earth? Will we get to find out who they are after the purification event? You're saying yes, you will. Awesome. So we're all gonna get to know who his descendants are. We will know them. You'll know them by their fruit. We'll know them by they'll probably have that gospel preaching thing in them. Yes. So they probably are very, very spiritual beings, I'm guessing. Yes. So his descendants are all people who are like spiritual teachers and yeah, light warriors, all that kind of thing. Okay, awesome. Um, okay, after the earth is purified of all the evil ones, will we get back the original 777 book Bible restored back to our earth to read? Yes. So we'll get back the 777 page Bible. So I will be able to access that and read it if I want to in the future. Yes. Um, okay. Will we get any books restored to us that were taken from the Library of Alexandria? Yes. So there was like a lot of stuff from Atlantis and Lemuria and ancient times that was in that library, and it was all confiscated by the Romans before everybody thinks they just burned the library down, but actually they raided it and took all the good stuff, right? Yeah, so they took all the good stuff out. They took it back to Rome, put it down under where the Vatican sits today. It's been in the catacombs and the Vatican archives ever since. Hermetically sealed, I believe. Yep. We will get all that information back in in my lifetime, right? In my lifetime, yes. Um, will we get back in my lifetime also the Atlantean and Lemurian teachings as well? Yes. So we'll also get back all the Atlantean and Lemurian teachings. Okay, put these down because my hands and back are getting so stiff now. I'm also kind of overheated. I'm going to take off my coat. I'm wearing a little coat because it was cold when I first came in here. Now it's hotter than heck. My face is turning red. I don't know if you see me on camera here. I'm sweating and turning bright red. Yikes. All right, so that's all the questions I have. That was a lot of effing questions. It's already 10 o'clock. Holy crap. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this up for you all on YouTube. The link to register for my Spiritual Protection 101 class is down below in the description. My website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, if you want to know about other classes, books, products that I have that I like to, that I use for myself. There's a bunch of stuff on there I use for myself, and partnerships I have with people, that those are up on my website. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments. You can also contact me through my website anytime about stuff. I don't offer private sessions like, what do you want to call it, psychic readings anymore. I don't do that. However, let's see, should I tell them the news yet? Is it okay to tell them? Yeah, okay. So I have some news about sessions because I stopped doing psychic readings because Yeshua and I are kind of done with giving everybody all the answers to everything, like trying to, to spoon feed everybody all the answers, because we want you all going within and, how do you want to say, nurturing and creating your own psychic abilities and your own answers and getting all that, because you all have the ability to get everything for yourself. You're just giving away your power left and right. And so as a teacher, I'm here to not to enable you. I'm here to give you a hand up, not a handout, to help you, give you the tools and the teaching that you need to get everything that you need for yourself, because you can be an amazing, super powerful X-Men kind of psychic yourself. You just need to be taught how. And so that's why I have my book on my website that's activating your superpowers. That whole book will help you to do that, to activate your abilities to be able to talk to him and get the answers. That's on my website. I've got all kinds of classes to help you. I've got meditation classes and all sorts of classes, pendulum, divination classes. You can be your own psychic and get all your answers with the pendulum if you want to. You can use dowsing, all these kind of things. There's so many ways for you to be your own psychic. You don't need to pay money to any psychic to answer your questions for you. You can get all this yourself, okay? So I'm not doing those kind of readings anymore for people. However, what I am going to do, because it's something that I've done for years and I kind of put it on the back burner. I was doing it solely, and then I stopped doing it for a while. I used to be known as the healer to the healers for a long time. Um, but I wasn't necessarily healing healers. What I was doing is counseling healers, helping them with get their healing business going, or if it was already going, helping them, giving them emotional support, giving them counseling, life coaching, relationship coaching, just all that kind of stuff, just helping healers with support, just fully supporting healers in their life and in their business so that they can be amazing healers, and also helping them, teaching them, how do you get clients? How do you start a healing business? What kind of healing should you be doing? All of that, which is why I have a healing basics workshop on my website that you can take if you're considering being a healer and you don't know what kind of healing to do. That's on my website. I have so many tools for this. But what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to go back to offering something that I used to do. I did it for many years, and that is I'm going to do private sessions for healers. Okay, so if you're like a Reiki healer, any type of energy healer, sound healer, a Reiki healer, any kind of other energy healer, a massage therapist, a naturopathic physician, a chiropractor, an acupuncturist. I used to work, I counseled those kind of people who were holistic alternative medicine people, people who were doing actual healing work on people, herbalists, even Wiccans and voodoo priestesses, that were doing healing, that do healing work with people. They're good, they're not bad, they're, helping people heal. Anybody like that who does healing work, I'm here. When I was doing readings for people, 80% of my clients were healers. 80% of my clients have always been healers, even when I was just doing psychic readings. I'm really here to support the healers when it comes to the private, like the counseling kind of things. When I'm teaching classes, those are for the general population of everybody who's awake. Anyone who's awake should be taking my classes. But when it comes to doing one-on-one meaty kind of work where I'm going into the nitty-gritty of your personal life and all your situation in your business, whatever it is you're doing, that I'm only doing with healers. So I'm starting in at the beginning of October, I believe. It's going to be somewhere in October. It's going to actually probably be mid-October, maybe about mid-October. I'm going to start offering one-on-one sessions just for healers, and they'll be 90 minutes to 2 hours long. And you'll be able to come in with all your questions. I'm going to ask you, if you're a healer, to just come to me with all your questions. I'm not going to be answering psychic questions. So I'm not going to be telling you about your soul and your purpose and where you came from and where you're vibrating at and all that the soul reading stuff I was doing and the psychic kind of work I was doing. No psychic stuff. This is me supporting you, helping you with your life crap, advising you if you're going through, maybe you're a healer going through a difficult relationship, advising you, being your personal mentor, being a mentor to you, mentoring you, advising you, assisting you, supporting you, loving you, helping you on how to grow your business, how to market your business as a healer, how to do self-care as a healer, how to heal yourself as a healer. I'll be happy to teach you how to heal it yourself as a healer, because a lot of healers are struggling with health issues. That's how they become healers, actually. Healers become healers by going through health issues. So that is what I'm going to be doing starting mid-October, and I will be only offering one of those sessions a week because I've got too many other things going on, including taking care of sick family members and family that had my husband just had a hip replacement surgery, a total hip replacement. And so I've been nurse since last Friday. He had that on Friday, and I've been basically nurse to him. And then I've got other family and things going on too. So I don't have the time to offer tons of sessions, even once I start doing that. So I will be opening up my schedule in October sometime for people to go in and book. And I might open the schedule up for booking in September, but it will be for mid-October. So if you are a healer and you need support, counseling, any advice, I'm not going to answer psychic questions. I would rather you take the classes, read my book, read my Activating Your Superpowers book, and learn how to get all those psychic answers yourself, because you can do it. You have to stop giving your power away. But people do need counseling. They need support. They need love. Especially, I have a lot of you that are healers who don't have family that are awake. You don't have friends that are awake. You feel all alone in this world, and you're a healer, but you don't have any support that you need to help you as a healer, because everybody in your life is on the other side. They haven't woken up yet and snapped out of the coma. So I'm here for those people. I'm here as a support cushion when it comes to the one-on-one kind of stuff. And then my classes will always be open to everybody. Okay. Anybody who's awake is welcome. So that's it. I just wanted to share that news with you. Decided I really, really want to help the healers. Really want to help the healers. So I hope you will like this channel, subscribe, because then more people will see these videos, and it will help a lot more people if you give it a like and you subscribe to the channel. That's going to really help me to get it out to more people, so YouTube will promote it to other people that are spiritual seeking. And hopefully this resonated with you. And again, we say, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. If you do put any Bible thumping, threatening crap in the comments, you're going to be blocked immediately. I had a bunch of you come on and, everything from tarot is evil, you're going to hell, telling me I'm going to hell. It's like, okay, I don't know who died and made you God. All of a sudden you get to judge me, really? The most hypocritical Christians on the planet, I'll tell you, these Christians or these people, just people in general, anybody who sits there and tells you they're just a stupid, flawed human being, and they're sitting there telling you what will happen to you when you die. First of all, they don't effing know what will happen to you. They don't even know what's going to happen to themselves, for heaven's sakes. Number two, who died and made them God? They're not God. They're just a stupid effing human. Sorry. And then third, what a damn hypocrite. It's like they're going against everything Jesus, what would Jesus do? Jesus would tell you to shut the F up, okay? Seriously. Stop telling people you're damned and going to hell because you don't do what I do and you don't believe the way I do. And just because you don't follow my religion, every religion thinks that other people are going to hell. In fact, I just watched a video of a rabbi recently in Israel saying that 6 million people need to die because they're all idol worshipers. Every Catholic, he said, every Buddhist, every Muslim, every Hindu, he said basically everyone on earth who has a religion where there's any idols involved, that they all need to die now. That was his thing. So you've got Jews hating against other people who aren't Jews. You've got Hindu, or not Hindus, but what do you call them? Christians telling everybody that they're going to hell who doesn't believe the way they do. And it's not just Christians against non-Christians. You've got Christians from different aspects of Christianity. There's like 6,000 churches under the Christian umbrella. You've got Seventh-day Adventist and Presbyterian and Bible Church and Holy Roller Church and Catholic and Lutheran, and you've got all the and Baptist and all these different, types of churches just under this. And all of those even point the finger at the other ones and say, anyone who's not a Pentecostal is going to hell. Anyone who's not a Catholic is going to hell. Anyone who's not a Lutheran is going to hell. Anyway, whatever. So they're doing that. And then you've got them pointing the finger at everyone else who's not a Christian, saying everybody's going to hell who doesn't, believe in Jesus. It's like, give me a break. And then you've got the Islamic people who sit there and say everybody who isn't a Muslim needs to die and we get to kill you and then we get 52 virgins in heaven. You've got those people. So every single religion is just breeding hate and fear. And I'm not going to include in that Buddhists and Hindus, because Buddhism and Hinduism isn't like those religions. Those people are very peaceful. They don't want to kill anyone. In fact, it's against their philosophies to harm animals, bugs. They like sweep the path as they walk. They don't want to harm insects, humans, animals, anything. They are peaceful. They're totally peaceful. Who are the fear-based haters on the planet? The Christians, the Jews, and the Islamics. They're all fear-based haters. They all got to go. Their religions are going to be out of here. They're going to be wiped out. So all of you people who have been watching this video, if you're going to come down with your Bible thumping, you're not going to be on this earth for much longer. All the people who cannot wake up to the truth of what Yeshua was actually teaching, if you can't actually follow his teachings in a nice way, and you are going to continue being a hypocrite and criticizing and judging others and pointing fingers at others. Remember, 3 are back at you for every finger you point. If you continue that behavior, you have a one-way ticket coming up pretty soon here this year to another third density planet. Well, you will get to play out your 1984 scenario of becoming the Borg, getting nuked, dying of some pandemic, and et cetera, having all your children murdered. You will get to play that out on that other 3D planet for a lockdown of another 26,000 years, and you will be recycled there over and over and over until you can wake the F up and realize that it's not okay to be a stinking judgmental, criticizing hypocrite. That's not okay. So that's all I have to say. And thank you all for being here today. And if you do see these people Bible thumping in the comments and I happen to miss it or something, call their asses out, please. I love you all. Thank you. See you next time.